everybody, it's Christine and I'm back today with my first new project with the new collections from Paper House Productions. I did a little work for them for CHA, but this is like full-time design team stuff. So today I am working with the Let Freedom Ring collection, and this one has 3 different parts to it: a Boston part, a Washington DC part, and a Philadelphia part. Most of the collections are completely neutral, but there's some pieces in each part that fit with those cities. I opted to work with the Boston one today because I had some pictures of a trip that my husband and I took to Boston that I thought would work great. So I am starting off by creating a string art star. The whole collection is very patriotic, and so I wanted to do something unique with a star and make that really the focal point as I build my layout up. So what I did is I cut out a big star about 10.5 inches in width and height on my silhouette, and then I taped it down and punched holes about every 1/2 inch along the outside border of it. And then, as you can see, I am going through and adding in blue thread for string art. I am not using any pattern or any rhyme or reason to where I am taking my string in and putting it into the next spot. I am just kind of eyeballing it and seeing, okay, looks like that would be a good spot. Oh, this looks like a good spot. And just filling in. I know you can do patterns and you can make it very precise and detailed. I'm just going for simple, I guess, if there's such a thing with string art. Simple, quick, as quick as possible, again, if there's such a thing as that with string art. And you'll see it ends up being just great. It doesn't have to follow any specific kind of pattern or rules. It does take a while regardless of how you approach it. It's not a technique that you want to sit down and if you say, oh, I want to do this layout in a 1/2 hour, that's not going to happen. Unless you speed up the video like I just did there. But it does totally pack a punch and really make a unique background. And I think it does take less time than doing stitching just because you're doing such long approaches on it. I am going to go ahead and outline my star, and truthfully I think the outlining with the little stitches took nearly as long as doing the whole star did, but that's okay. I decided I didn't like it. It felt incomplete to me without a border around it, so I decided I wanted to add that in, and I did kind of cheat a little and do 2 or 3 holes at a time for a lot of it. You can't tell, I promise. But at the end, as you can see, it packs a really great punch and is just a great way to start off your layout. I do have other videos that I did string art on also, as well as other layouts. Just check out my blog, check out my YouTube channel. It's one of my favorite go-to techniques when I think it will work nicely. Now you can see I did offset the star. I didn't make it perfectly straight, and I did that just because I knew I was kind of want my picture straight, and I wanted a little bit of artistic addition to it, so not too much straightness going on. You can see in the background I have one of my brand new tools. It is a We Are Memory Keepers laser square, and what it does is it shoots lasers out and helps you get things on straight, and you'll see me using this several times in here. I waited a long time to get this, saved up my pennies, and I am really happy with it. It fits nicely in my workspace. It helps keep everything kind of contained, and best of all, it helps me get things nice and straight, which is something I just consistently struggle with. And so even though I tried to talk myself out of wanting to get it, I decided it was something I did actually want and need, if you will. So I am working with actually the back side of this patterned paper. So the base you see is the front side, and then I had a second sheet of it, and so I flipped it over and I cut up the tags, and that Boston tag that you see there, it says Boston Tea Party, which I covered up most of it. And then I also am using that bottom corner there that looks like a map. That is also one of those tags, and so I'm using that also. And then I used some tags from another sheet to do my stars, and that one there you see is a red one with white stars on it. And then I also used some red patterned paper to do some more stars, and I cut out stars on with metal die cuts with my Cuttlebug machine, and I used several different sizes, so I had some options and just made a bunch of each size. You can see the colors in this collection are very rich. They are not the super bright, super vibrant red, white, and blue. They are a deep red. They are a deep blue, almost pushing navy. The browns are rich, woody colored brown, not a light, soft, or even bright brown. I really liked the way these colors kind of forced me out of my comfort zone. You notice my style tends to be very bright and colorful, and this was just a good chance to step away from that and go a little more neutral than normal, and I really actually enjoyed it. In fact, at the end of this is one of my favorite layouts that I've done in months, so that should tell you something. Sometimes it's good to step out of your comfort zone and try something new. So there you see, I'm using that laser to get my border on straight. And I added that border to the bottom left side and then that upper right corner, just to pull the eyes into that picture once again. And then I'm also going to add in some little star stickers. Those, along with that border, all come from the cardstock sticker set that is inside of this collection. It's a really nice sticker set. It has a good variety. The sticker sets, the cardstock sticker sets, are very neutral to just USA stuff. They're not specific to the city, so they will work for anything you want to do, whether it's patriotic for patriotic holidays or military themed or whatnot. I decided I wanted to move that one big star over to the other side of my picture, other top side, to line it up with the border that I'd put on there. It made more sense over there, and the Boston title can coordinate with the lower left-hand side, so I felt like that was a better spot for it, as well as not covering up quite so much of the string art there. I also am going to add in some stickers up in the upper left hand corner here in a little bit, just to add another special dimension to things. With the title there for Boston, I decided to go ahead and tear off that top strip and just give it a little rougher edge. Everything's very clean and fine-tuned at this point, and so sometimes adding a little tearing in can just break everything up a little bit, make it not quite so rigid. Here you go, I'm adding on those stickers from the cardstock sticker set. I'm having trouble saying that tonight. And I added in stars and stripes because we were in Boston and it fit. It fit really nicely as far as the size went there. There was a couple different options on that sticker set that I could have gone with, but that size was particularly good. And then I'm also adding in some more stars up there. And then you can see I am going to also play with those stars a little more. Things are just a little... it's lacking something still at this point. So I got out my white pen. This is a white Uniball Signo pen. And I traced around one of those stars, and that looked terrible. So I pulled that star up thinking I was going to replace it, and when I pulled it up, I noticed, hey, I really like the outline of that star. So I decided to run with that, and what it ends up looking like is like I stamped stars all over the layout. I didn't. I used my white pen, and I did it very sloppily, if you will. but I really love how it turned out. So here's some close-ups for you, and then at the very end I will flash a picture for you of the full layout. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you love this collection, be sure to grab it at the Paper House Productions store.